When I was lecturing at university in these kind of topics, my students often used to say to me, now Caryn, what does a good relationship look like? How will you know you're in it? Or how will you know that this relationship is not going to work? And I think there's a couple of things that I've learned over the years is that I refuse to predict what relationship will work and what relationship won't, because sometimes I can look at relationships and think, not sure, and other times I can look at relationships and think, no, not going to happen, or yep, it's going to happen. I mean, look at Diane and Charles. I mean, wouldn't you think that that relationship would work? No. Expectations that are too high, expecting people to do things that you want them to do but they don't want to. Another key one, which I always love, is he completes me, or she just makes me the person I'm destined to be. Now, whenever I hear those kind of comments, I go, you. Because if you're waiting for somebody to complete you, which means you don't complete you, then you're always going to be vulnerable to somebody else either completing you or taking away what you think they've completed. So I think one of the key things in relationships is if you've got work to do, if you struggle in areas, you work on those areas. You make yourself complete, as opposed to asking other people or expecting your partner to do it. So I guess if I have to show it by hand, so often couples will, and then another issue would be enmeshment, where couples have to do everything together. So they've got to do everything together because that's what we do. And notice you get this. And often what happens with this kind of relationship is that you create a codependent relationship where we can't really function well in the world without each other. And of course, codependent relationships are not healthy relationships. But if you talk about a healthy relationship and what that looks like, you've got the female here and the male here, and they're very strong in their own way. She goes and does her thing, goes to work, has, a life outside of the relationship, as does he, but they come together as people that stand side by side as opposed to becoming enmeshed. So you don't have that codependence, you have a healthy approach to life, she pursues her interests and her hobbies, he does. You don't have that possession and that jealousy. You have that encouragement and that support, and go out and grow and do. As opposed to, why are you wearing that? A relationship needs space to breathe. It needs space for fun. It needs space for communication. And a healthy relationship is where we talk things through, we have high emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence means that we manage our own emotions well. So if I'm angry, for example, instead of me going crazy and screaming and shouting, which is emotionally unintelligent, I take a step back and calm down and think about things and think about how I can actually resolve the issue intelligently, calmly. So if couples can do those, learn those communication strategies, those couples that do that well have an equal balance around communicating, expressing their feelings and their frustrations, doing it intelligently, but they create intimacy in the relationship. Intimacy, and it doesn't have to be sexual intimacy, it could be emotional intimacy, but there's that connection. How often have I worked with couples where they walk around or walk in the room and there's just no connection at all? And I think, I'm going to share something, one of them in today's world, it's a very important point, is that relationships are struggling today because we don't dedicate the time to the relationship. So we're too busy doing this, doing that, looking after the kids, playing golf, going to work, seeing the in-laws, doing the soccer, doing the netball, doing whatever it is. And the very thing that should be the primary focus of a relationship, i.e. the relationship or the marriage, now is relegated to the back fence. So the children, the work, the careers, the study, everything else comes first. And the most important thing in that union is now not the most important thing. And that's why you get so many relationships that just don't last the distance.